Hello, brothers and sisters, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, lads and ladesses, friends and neighbours. Welcome once again to Freeline FM with me, Rabbi Israel Ben Heeman. Hey, I'm presenting the news for this one, and I can't believe I'm actually going to tell you what I'm actually going to tell you. I don't believe this myself. Great Britain is now in the grips of Islam. Great Britain's handed over its sovereignty to a bunch of savages from the Middle East. I don't know how to say this. The British police are knocking on people's doors right and left and saying, your son or your daughter posted this on Facebook or Wimkin or whatever, and it offended a Muslim, and so we have to arrest you and throw you in jail. And they're doing it. The cops. I mean, don't worry. I mean, the cops will get theirs. The cops, because Muslims don't want allies. They want useful idiots. That's what they've got. Starmer and his gang of crooks and the police. They're just useful idiots. That's all they are. I watched a video today about a guy called Robert Lowe, who is launching a new political party. And I was pretty close to saying I might offer my vote to Reform UK until they decided they didn't want Tommy Robinson on the books. I mean, Tommy's been carrying this fight and warning everybody about the evils of Islam longer than anybody else I can remember, and they don't want Tommy Robinson. Even if you don't want Tommy Robinson, maybe you don't want me either. So I'm looking at what Robert Lowe's got to say, and Robert says, Robert's a working farmer. And Robert's a bit of a character. He's very abrupt, and he's not too bothered about if people are offended by what he says, which I quite like and admire. It's a courageous stand, especially in today's wokest, liberal, communist world. The globalists have made a mess of everything, really. And the leftists, well, they're all the same, aren't they? They all piss in the same pot. But I can't believe this, that Islam is doing what they said they would do. They said, we're not here to take part, we're here to take over. And that's what they're doing. They're taking over. They're not doing it by a straight up fight. They couldn't do that. They couldn't win. They're doing it by making useful idiots like Starmer and his crooks do it for them. Now, I said, don't worry about the police will get theirs. There will come a day when the British people will stand on their hind legs and say, that's it, we've had enough. And they'll fight. And I predict that by the end of 2026, Great Britain will be in a state of civil war. And it will be a shooting, killing war. Not just words across a political chamber when I'm talking about fighting in the streets. It's here. It's unavoidable, I think, now. It's so inevitable. I don't think anybody could possibly doubt that they've allowed Islam so much slack to do what they want. The only way to stop them is with violence. And that's on its way. It's coming. Now, the thing is, when that happens, it's not going to be a long civil war, I don't think, because the military are not going to side with Starmer and his crooks, and they're not going to side with Islam either. So the military is going to be on the side of the people, the British people, the true British people, and they're going to uphold their own religion, their own culture, their own way of life. They're going to stand shoulder to shoulder, back to back with their own people. And at that point, a lot of Muslims will get the idea it's probably a good idea to get out, because if they don't get out, they're going to get killed. Because this is going to be a real shooting war. Now, I know that the Muslims have got plenty of guns and that. A mosque is not a place of worship. It's an arsenal. It's an armory where they keep all their weapons and bombs and so on. I'm absolutely certain of that. But we can soon take those over. Believe me, there are plenty of ex-soldiers in Britain who would love to show you exactly how to take them down. I was a soldier for a long time myself, a very long time actually, and I'll be quite happy to show you how to do it. Although I'm not coming back to Britain to do it. I will never come back to Britain. No matter how good Britain gets, I will never come back to it. It just upset me too much. I simply can't live there anymore. But anyway, here we are. Britain and British people, I'm telling you, you need to stand up and fight. You really do, because if you don't, you're going to lose your country. And once the Muslims have got total control, and they don't need the useful idiots anymore, the police and Starmer and his gang, the leftist lunatic politicians, when they don't need them anymore, they'll get rid of them. And they'll get rid of a lot of us as well, a lot of British people. That can't be allowed to happen. We have to come to an agreement with ourselves. The way that things have to go now is that the British people have to fight for their own existence yet again against Nazis yet again. Why keep throwing your freedom at the feet of the Nazis? I don't know, but you do. You keep doing it. The French have done it. I mean, France is now a Muslim shithole. It's as simple as that. And Britain is almost there. Germany is almost there. Some European countries have started taking measures to get rid of their Muslims. Quite frankly, I favour the American way of doing it. Donald J. Trump's getting rid of them real fast, isn't he? 500 million, some 500,000 he's managed to get rid of in a very short period of time. So, yeah, send them back where they belong. They don't belong in Western culture. They don't belong in the Western world. Get rid of them. And if they don't want to go, then we'll have to persuade them. Yeah. We're not here to take part. We're here to take over again. We, the British, are not going to allow anyone to take over what belongs to us. But the British people have got to be courageous about this. Like I said, you're coming to the point of a civil war, and I think the kind of guy that you need to have in charge running the country is a guy like Robert Lowe. He knows what they are, and believe me, Robert is talking about getting rid of them. Not just a few of them, but all of them. People who have come to Great Britain and think all they can do is freeload and then break every law in the book and get away with it. Robert's going to turn the guns on them straight away, and I mean turn the guns on them. And I'll tell you, this is what you need to do. Every British person who is a British national and has nationality of Britain going back 5 generations, so we can make sure, can report to either a police station or to a territorial army unit and receive a weapon and live ammunition, and then wait for the word, and then start the shooting, start the war, start getting rid of the enemy. I can't believe that the police in Britain are knocking on people's doors and saying a Muslim is offended by this that you put on Facebook, and then they're arresting English people for that. But like I said, the police will get theirs, and the way to deal with the police is 1 in every 4, stick them on the end of a rope. At the end of the Second World War, we hanged the Nazis who committed crimes against humanity, and the British police are doing exactly that. They're committing crimes against humanity, and they will have to pay with their lives for it. If they don't like it, then they should stop doing what they're doing. But they won't. They'll carry on obeying their unlawful orders, which is going to be their big excuse, isn't it? Oh, we were only doing as we were told. Really? How about doing what's right? When you know that doing what you're told is wrong. So the police are guilty of crimes against humanity, guilty of treason, and the penalty for both is death. And they'll get theirs. We'll take care of the cops. And they'll be replaced with people who take care of the British people. But when Britain's got its freedom back, and you can say what you like on social media again, and you can speak freely in the street again, and you can say whatever you want about anybody again, for God's sake, don't ever allow anybody to take that away. You need it written down in a constitution. You don't have to give up the idea of democracy, because democracy is about the rule of the majority. You need a republic with republican regulation law, where the rights of the individual are respected above the majority's rights. The majority don't have the right to take your property and do what they want with it, just because they're the majority. If you live in a village and there's 100 people, and you own a bicycle, and 60% of the people in the village say they're going to use your bicycle between Monday and Friday, and you can only have your bicycle on Saturday and Sunday, and they go ahead and do that. That's democracy, majority rule. What about your rights? It's your bicycle. You see, what you need to do is protect individual rights, and that is a Republican view, not a democratic view. Forget about democracy. You need republicanism. And lastly, you need to put somebody in power like Robert Lowe, who is going to take them on and make sure that they never come back. Because we've allowed our democracy to be used against us to defeat our principles of fair play. They have the right to say what they want until they're in power, and then they take away our right to do the same thing. Well, what we need to do is to ban them from the start. Anyone at all that shows any kind of leanings to the left, anything to that looks like wokeism, communism, leftism, Nazism, anything like that, immediately they have to be executed, because the left is a wrecking ball, and the greatest evil leftist entity on the face of this earth is Islam. Islam is a wrecking ball. It needs to be stopped. So I say this to people of Britain: your civil war is on its way. Fight valiantly, but do yourselves a big favour. Return to whence you came. Fill your churches and praise the living God through his Son Jesus Christ, and fill your hearts with the Holy Spirit. Because when Britain was a Christian country, it was Great Britain. Now, it's just another Muslim shithole. Take your country back. Take your freedom back. and don't let anybody else ever take it away again. Go forward, brothers and sisters. Fight the good fight. And may God be with you.